Good evening and welcome to Rialto Unified School District Special Meeting of the Board of Education, February the 27th, 2025 at the Dr. John Consaluda Educational Center, 182 East Walnut Avenue, Rialto, California. Any individual who requires disability-related accommodation or modification, including auxiliary aids and services, in order to participate in the board meeting should contact the superintendent or designee in writing. Board meeting called to order at 6 p.m. Open session. Well, first of all, I would like to have a Pledge of Allegiance by Dr. Judy White, retired CEO of Riverside County Office of Education and retired Riverside County Superintendent of Schools.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Adoption of agenda. Can we have a motion to adopt agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, vote by board members. Aye.
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 Okay. Okay, we have a motion for public comment prior to closed session as provided by law. All items for discussion and consideration in closed session for a special board meeting. This is only on topic of our agenda item. Any person wishing to speak or any item on the closed session, we only have one topic, will be granted 3 minutes.
So we have several. First, we have Ana Gonzalez.
You can come back.
Yeah, let me go to the next one.
Okay.
Miss Celia Saravia, sorry.
Did Ms. Gonzalez come back in?
Yeah, she.
Okay.
Buenas noches, miembros de la mesa directiva.
Good evening, members of the board.
Presidenta doctora Luis,
President Dr. Lewis,
vicepresidente Mr. Martínez,
Vice President Mr. Martinez,
superintendente activo doctor de Sousa,
Superintendent Dr. De Souza,
audiencia.
and audience.
Soy Celia Saravia
I am Celia Saravia,
y represento a Amigos Unidos,
and I represent Amigos Unidos,
grupo de apoyo para padres de educación especial.
a support group for parents of special needs children.
Los padres escuchamos que el board quiere hacer un cambio con el superintendente activo interino.
We, the parents, have heard that the board is planning to make a change of superintendent
Y nombrar a otro interino.
and to name someone transitionally.
Estamos a 3 meses que termine el año escolar.
We are 3 months from the end of the school year.
Sabemos que hay procesos
We
que
know-
deben seguirse,
We know there are processes that must be followed.
pero también sabemos que es cuando alguien no está haciendo su trabajo bien, por mala conducta, etcétera.
But we also know that when someone's not performing their job well, or they are exhibiting inadequate behaviors, etc.
Pero este no es el caso con el doctor de Sousa.
But that's not the case with Dr. De Souza.
Él es un gran profesional,
He's a great professional.
tiene conducta intachable
His conduct is unquestionable.
y es un gran apoyo y aporte a nuestros estudiantes,
And he's a great support and contributes to our students,
para nuestro distrito y para nuestra comunidad.
for our district and our community.
Les preguntamos a ustedes,
We ask you,
¿ya lo evaluaron para que tomen esa decisión?
have you done an evaluation on him so that you can make a decision like that one?
Terminemos el año escolar
Let's finish out the school year
y abran el proceso de contratación para el superintendente que va a estar fijo,
and open up a hiring process for a superintendent that would be permanent,
para que apliquen todos los que estén preparados
so that you can apply all of that you've prepared
para guiar a nuestro distrito,
to guide our district.
pensando siempre en el éxito de nuestros estudiantes.
Keeping in mind always the success of our students.
A nosotros nos parece fuera de lugar y negligente
We think that this is out of place and it's negligence
quitar a un interino y poner a otro interino.
to remove a temporary superintendent just to place another one.
Eso no es justo para nadie,
That's not fair to anyone,
especialmente para nuestros estudiantes.
especially to our students.
Ustedes son nuestros miembros de la mesa directiva,
You are the members of the board.
elegidos por nosotros, la
And you-
comunidad.
And you were elected by us, the community.
Nosotros les tenemos mucho respeto y confianza a ustedes.
We respect you greatly and we trust in you.
Les pedimos que tomen decisiones acertadas
We ask you that you make the right decisions,
en beneficio de nuestros estudiantes.
decisions that benefit our students.
Nosotros solamente somos padres que nos ocupamos de la educación de nuestros hijos.
We are simply parents who are participating in the education of our children.
Ustedes son políticos,
You're politicians,
pero tomen en cuenta, pero también son padres
but take into consideration that you're also parents
y tuvieron a sus hijos aquí en este distrito.
and that you had your children here in this district.
Así que pensemos en nuestros estudiantes. Ellos son primero y
So
nadie se debe de quedar atrás.
So let's think of our students. They should come first and no one should be left behind.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ana Gonzalez.
Thank you so much, Board. Good evening, staff and community members here and watching at home. Ana Gonzalez, I am a Myler parent and a proud community advocate and one of the outsiders. I am here today to speak on a very important decision that you all are going to be making tonight. And although I have appreciated and want to thank Dr. D'Souza for his amazing work over the years, and all the amazing thing he has done for this amazing district, I do agree that it is time that we get somebody that's going to be coming in here with a neutral, set of eyes to start cleaning up this district and start the healing process and the restorative justice that this district really desperately needs for our children to get the education that they desperately deserve, the high quality education that they deserve. Because looking at the reports that we saw last week and what we see in the California dashboard over and over every single year, we have failed our children every single year. And I am tired of seeing those reports, and not only as a parent, but myself as an educator. As an educator, I cannot sit here and allow this district to continue to see our children fail. And only 10% of our kids be at standards and grade level. That is unacceptable. We need someone that's going to come in here and not be cliquish and not have any relationship with any staff member and just come in here and really look and get the reins of this district and really take care of our children and say, hey, we need to really focus on the education of our students, of the safety of our students, and make sure that they're not being preyed upon and cared for, and just focus on their education, period. That's all we want as a parent. That's all I want for my daughter, for the future generations of this district. We need change, and we need it now. And I pray and hope that you make the right decision today, and you get a neutral person from the outside, and you make the right decision for this district, because our children deserve the very best. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Next, we have Mona Ruiz.
Good evening, board, audience, and viewing audience. My name is Myrna Reese, and I'm here tonight because of our students must be the priority, no exceptions, no excuses. Our district needs a stability and accountability. Enough with the friendship that protect instead of lead. Enough with the cover-ups and slap on the wrist consequences. I have been asking for accountability, and I will keep asking until action is taken. I know it's time to start looking for a new superintendent, and it must be done right away, with every stakeholder involved. Parents, teachers, staff, community members must have a voice in this process. We need a leader who is here to make a real change, not just collect a paycheck. If you're here for the title or salary or the politics, then it's time for you to step aside. The numbers from the last presentations made it very clear. Our kids are struggling. They need help, and we cannot accept failure for the norm. Too many of our students are not reading at grade level. Our special education students need more support. We need amazing teachers. We have amazing teachers giving all their best, but they cannot do it alone. And for those who are not meeting expectations, we need to ask why and provide the necessary support or make the hard decisions. It is time for the district to show with actions, not just words, that we truly care about our students, parents, staff, and community. Let's be the district that leads by example. Let's be the district that puts our students first, not just speeches, but in real time, and measurable change. Our students deserve better. And it's time for action. It's time to step up and do what is right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Frank Montes.
Okay, well, you can switch it out. Yeah, you can go. You can go switch it out. Yeah.
Do you guys want me to wait? Because I can wait.
Yeah, let's go ahead and wait so she can hear what you have to say.
Dr. Lewis, would you like me to wait?
Are they gonna switch it out for you? Because you've been here before. Let's see if we can get that switched out.
We could have did a reverse translator.
Could you
Should've kept
call
that out of the way.
for the reverse translator?
Yeah,
If
might
they
as well
don't have
do
that.
real quick. That way everybody can hear. Can we do that?
I'm checking.
Thank you. Thank you.
I can't translate.
Anna, could you translate for me?
Can we have a translator come in? Okay, here you go.
I'm actually interpreting simultaneously. There must be something wrong with the equipment, so I'll go ahead and do consecutive.
Yeah. We'd like you to reverse translations. You can do it in Spanish.
Yes, you can, and we do have it in, is someone still translating, or is just only one person? Because we still need it for the people who are watching. You're welcome. I knew that. Gracias. About 5 of the words I know. Abra la boca and saca la lengua, medical terms. That's about it.
¿Le duele?
No. Medicina, frontal
You do
portable
it on the
para.
phone.
Okay, we're set? Okay.
Good evening, Dr. Lewis, Vice President Martinez,
Buenas tardes, doctora Lewis, vicepresidente Martínez,
members of the board,
miembros de la Junta Directiva,
staff, and community.
empleados y comunidad.
My name is Frank Montes,
Mi nombre es Frank Montes
and I am a community advocate.
y yo soy un defensor de la comunidad.
Yeah, because he has to pause.
Okay, we're good?
¿Estamos bien?
Okay. I'm here to talk regarding the decision you're going to be making today.
He venido para hablar con respecto a la decisión que van a tomar el día de hoy.
Heard some of these speakers talk about the great work that Dr. D'Souza has done.
Según hemos escuchado, algunos oradores han mencionado la gran labor que el doctor de Sousa ha hecho.
And I'm not going to stand here and deny that.
Y no estaré aquí frente a ustedes para negar eso.
But a lot of times the bad outweighs the good,
Pero en muchas ocasiones lo malo contrapesa lo bueno,
especially when it comes to the safety of our children,
particularmente con respecto a la seguridad de nuestros niños.
whether they be white, Asian, Latino, Black, Middle Eastern, as they are our children.
Ya sea que sean caucásicos, latinos, asiáticos o del Medio Oriente, ellos son nuestros niños.
So I'll get straight to the point. I
Así
don't
que iré al grano.
know if all of you have heard what happened at Frisbee Elementary School, where Mr. Vara put in
No sé si ustedes habrán escuchado lo que ocurrió en la secundaria Frisbee Middle School, donde el director Vara ha puesto
a adult pinball machine. I don't want to say it because we do have some young children here.
una máquina de juegos electrónicos con temas de adultos. No quiero decir ni ser tan gráfico porque tenemos jovencitos aquí en la audiencia.
I want to pause to just make sure we're just on this one item
It,
agenda.
it is, Madam,
Okay.
Madam President. Mr. D'Souza, you were aware of this pinball machine the day before it was removed.
Señor de Sousa, usted estuvo al tanto de esta máquina el día antes de que fuera removida.
And you failed to advise the board.
Y usted falló en no avisarle a la junta directiva.
Maybe you let some know,
Quizás se lo dijo a algunos,
but not to the leadership.
pero no al liderazgo.
And a machine with that type of visuals,
Pero una máquina con ese tipo de gráficas,
as soon as you were made aware,
en cuanto a usted lo enteraron,
it is your responsibility as the leader of this district
es su responsabilidad como líder de este distrito
to get up from wherever you were at and drive over to the district and deal with that issue immediately.
el irse de donde estuviese en ese momento, conducir hasta el distrito y encargarse de ese asunto inmediatamente.
I found out the next day,
Yo me enteré al siguiente día
and it took me 15 minutes to get out of a meeting and drive to Frisbee.
y me tomó 15 minutos salirme de una reunión y llegar hasta Frisbee.
Because that's how important the safety of our children is.
Porque eso es cuán importante es para mí la seguridad de nuestros niños.
And when I walked in there,
Cuando caminé y entré,
we found two students,
encontramos a dos estudiantes,
two female students,
dos jovencitas,
and they were minority children,
niñas miembros de una minoría,
and right around the age of under 13, I would believe,
alrededor de 13 años, creo yo,
that had advised me
Que me
that
hab-
they've played with that machine.
que me informaron que ellas habían jugado con esa máquina.
And yet, you failed.
Y sin embargo, usted fracasó.
So when I hear all these great things,
Así que cuando escucho todas estas cosas buenas,
we talk about the pinball machine,
hablamos de las máquinas de juego,
we talk about lack of transparency and CPRAs giving us information that we can deal with removing these pedophiles out of the district.
hablamos de la falta de transparencia y de que el CPRA no removió a estos pedófilos,
And the lack of transparency in the corruption that's happening in this
y
district.
la falta de transparencia y la corrupción que ocurre en este distrito.
We need new leadership today.
Necesitamos un nuevo liderazgo hoy.
In fact, we need a new leadership 10 months ago as soon as you took that seat.
De hecho, necesitábamos un nuevo liderazgo hace 10 meses, en cuanto usted tomó ese escaño.
You were put in that position to fail. You were hand-selected to fail.
A usted le pusieron en ese puesto para que fracasara. De hecho, usted fue elegido a propósito para que fracasara.
So again, I'm not taking away any of the good that you have done,
Así que repito, no le estoy restando nada de lo bueno que usted ha hecho,
but you have failed our children.
pero usted ha fracasado a nuestros niños.
Thank you.
Thank
Gracias.
you.
Next, we have Steve Figueroa.
Could you repeat that? Would you be so humble? Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Steve Figueroa, education advocate, been coming here since 1996.
Steven Figueroa, defensor de la educación, he estado haciendo acto de presencia aquí desde 1996.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis.
Gracias, doctora
Martinez,
Lewis.
And Dr. Williams
Señor Martínez, Dr.
for
Williams,
allowing us to come before without First Amendment retaliation. We're really happy with that.
por permitirnos a venir ante ustedes bajo la primera enmienda sin sufrir represalias. En realidad lo agradecemos.
So I've probably known 4 different superintendents and probably a dozen different board members.
Quizás he conocido a 4 diferentes superintendentes y casi una docena de fiduciarios.
And I'm not going to, I'm echoing what Mr. Montes said. I'm not going to repeat it because there's a lot of truth to that.
Yo hago eco de lo que dijo el señor Montes. De hecho, no lo repetiré porque existe mucho de cierto en todo ello.
The need for a superintendent
La necesidad para un
with
superintendente
integrity and honor and that will keep closed door meetings within the board is imperative.
y con integridad y que mantenga las reuniones a puerta cerrada dentro de ese módulo, eso es un imperativo.
I have spoken before of certain board member who leaks everything.
He
As you
habla-
saw tonight,
He hablado anteriormente de cierto fiduciario quien cuela todo y hemos visto los resultados esta noche.
the special education advocate who seems to know more than every board member and everything on here and gets all the inside information and causes a lot of problems in the community.
Un defensor de la educación especial que parece saber no más que todos los miembros de los fiduciarios y que causa tanta problemática dentro de la comunidad.
Needs to be investigated, including the steering of contracts to certain special education advocates
Debe ser investigado y debe ser investigado con particularidad el que lleve ciertos contratos para la educación especial
and having one board member bully everyone else.
y que un miembro de la junta directiva excluya a todos los demás competidores.
So what I'm asking for is the public records requests. I've had 3 in.
Lo que estoy pidiendo en realidad es esa solicitud por récords públicos que ya he incoado 3
that have been denied.
que se me han denegado.
I don't want to take the district to court on a simple public records request that is public information that we have a right to because certain people want to hide what's going on in the district.
No quiero llevar a la junta directiva ante un tribunal simplemente porque no han cumplido con una solicitud muy sencilla a lo cual tenemos derecho simplemente porque la quieren esconder porque quieren proteger a alguien.
We need change 10 months ago today of a new superintendent,
Necesitábamos un cambio hace 10 meses.
can't wait.
Hoy, un nuevo superintendente.
okay? We need a special education audit to find out how much money these special education advocates have been paid and to get that money back for the district.
Okay, let's just stay on our one item.
Okay, that's
Necesitamos una auditoría a la educación especial para entender cuánto dinero es el que se ha pagado a ciertos defensores de la educación especial.
right. As you know, I put in to the superintendent some complaints
Como sabrán, yo presenté ante el superintendente ciertas quejas
on being attacked when I come speak for the First Amendment through commingling of personal emails with the district emails.
en haber sido recibido ataques por haber venido a hablar bajo la primera enmienda al entremezclarse ciertos correos electrónicos.
I'm now going to be advocating for a person and probably seeking a meeting with the superintendent on somebody in the superintendent's office calling the police on a person who came here to speak to complain, see if their children are okay at home.
Ahora estaré hablando o defendiendo a una persona a quien se le habló a la policía para que lidiara con ellos desde la oficina del superintendente porque meramente llamó para ver si sus chicos estaban bien.
So First Amendment retaliation,
Así que represalias por el uso de la primera enmienda.
we all know Victoria Baca versus Moreno Valley
Conocemos el caso Victoria contra Moreno Valley,
continually gets violated.
que continuamente se quebranta lo que esa ley orgánica ha propuesto.
Now moving forward, I have offered.
De aquí en adelante hemos ofrecido, yo he ofrecido,
I help other SALPAs, I can name them or
he ayudado
give
a
people
otros CELPAs, los puedo
to
nombrar,
help cure and correct and improve community relations.
para ayudar a mejorar las relaciones con la comunidad y a llevarlas correctamente.
So whoever you choose,
Así, sea quien elijan,
know that we want to help you make this better. We want those scores to go up.
queremos ayudarles para que esto se mejore. Queremos que los puntajes de los estudiantes se eleven.
But we also want complaints like the child from Frisbee who was stabbed, and we came to Dr. De Sosa.
Pero también queremos que quejas como el chico que fue acuchillado, apuñalado y que vinieron ante el superintendente
And after being stabbed, the problem is still not corrected.
y que después de que fue apuñalado ese problema sigue sin corregirse
And nobody's apologized.
y nadie les ha pedido disculpas.
In fact, she's been retaliated against. So we want that atmosphere of retaliation to stop so that we can all work together for the kids.
De hecho, han tomado represalias en contra de ella. Queremos que esas represalias cesen para que todos nos enfoquemos en la educación de los chicos.
So I'm going to close by saying we want the names that we put into the superintendent of the special education advocates who've been getting money. We want those public requests so that we could file with whatever federal agency we have to get that money back for the kids.
Así
Thank
que
you.
en cuanto tengan el nombre de ese superintendente, queremos proponer que den el nombre de la persona que esté a cargo de la educación especial para saber qué es lo que se ha hecho con ese dinero para que se haga esa auditoría. Gracias.
Thank you.
Next, we have Leticia Chavez. Oh, sorry, Leticia Garcia.
This is the last one they have to do.
We'll just continue, we sort of started this trend, and we'll try to get that for our next meeting.
Okay, good evening. My name is Leticia Garcia.
Buenas tardes, mi nombre es Leticia García.
I am a child advocate. I have been for many years.
Yo soy defensora de los niños, lo he sido por muchos años.
I'm also a former board member.
También soy una ex miembro de la Junta Directiva.
So I'm going to speak to you from that perspective.
Así que les hablaré desde esa perspectiva.
What is happening here tonight is very needed.
Lo que está ocurriendo aquí esta noche es algo muy necesario.
In case those of you who don't know, I have been exposing the district for teacher sexual misconduct and other teacher misconduct.
Para los que no saben, yo he estado exponiendo al distrito por mala conducta sexual y otro tipo de malas conductas de los maestros
And other staff.
y otros empleados.
And while I'm happy that those issues are now being addressed and we have teachers on leave and they are being reinvestigated,
Y si bien me da gusto de que esos asuntos ahora se están atendiendo y que algunos maestros ya están ausentes, se les ha dado licencia y todo se está investigando,
there are still so many other kids who are in danger every single day when they come to your schools.
sigue habiendo muchísimos otros chicos que siguen corriendo peligro todos los días que vienen a sus escuelas.
So what I want to do is explain what the interim superintendent position is
Entonces lo que deseo hacer es explicarles lo que es el puesto de un superintendente interino
and how it is in the best interest and best fiscal interest to go another route.
y por qué conviene mucho más al distrito y le conviene también mucho más de manera fiscal el tomar otra opción.
So Dr. D'Souza is an interim superintendent, which means he's not the superintendent.
El doctor de Sousa es el superintendente interino, lo cual significa que él no es el superintendente.
And as such, he will not be fired.
Y como tal, no se le despedirá.
He will simply go back to the position he was in, I assume.
Simplemente retornará al puesto que ejercía anteriormente, eso presumo yo.
Right now, he's being paid a superintendent salary.
Ahora mismo se le está pagando un salario como superintendente.
You just fired the superintendent without cause.
Y acaban ustedes de despedir al ex superintendente sin causa.
In the next few years, you'll end up paying him millions of dollars.
Y en los próximos años terminarán por pagarle millones de dólares.
Having said that,
Ha dicho lo anterior.
if you hire a retired superintendent,
Si contratan a un superintendente quien ya esté en el jubilo,
because they are retired, they can only work at a certain cap of income level.
debido a que ya son personas jubiladas, pueden trabajar con un límite de salario.
So aside from saving money,
Así que aparte de ahorrar dinero,
you'll also be putting in a superintendent that has experience, knowledge, skills,
también
and
estarán vistiendo a un superintendente que tiene conocimiento, que tiene aptitudes
because this district is in desperate need of stability.
y que tiene experiencia, porque este distrito tiene una necesidad desesperada de una estabilidad.
And I did not for nothing, I did notice that my former, I used to work at San Bernardino City Schools.
Y me he dado cuenta ahora que mi ex,
So she
les
was
cuento,
a-
yo trabajaba en las escuelas de San Bernardino.
When I was a teacher there,
Cuando era maestra en ese sitio,
Dr. Judy White was the assistant superintendent.
la doctora Judy White era la asistente de superintendente.
But anybody who was there at that time knows that Art Delgado was the face.
Pero todo mundo que estuvo en esa época, en ese sitio, saben que el rostro de él era el Arthur Delgado.
And Dr. White really ran things very smoothly.
Y la doctora White era quien se encargaba de equilibrar todo de manera muy precisa.
So I implore all of you
Así que les imploro a todos
to
ustedes
do the right thing and hire a superintendent that is not involved in cliques,
hagan lo correcto, contraten a un superintendente que no esté involucrado en camarillas o clicas,
who has a 40-some year track record scandal-free,
que tenga un antecedente de más de 40 años libre de escándalos.
and who will be fair. She will be fair to you, she will be fair to staff, and she will be fair to students.
Y que será justa para con ustedes, que será justa para con los empleados y que será justa para con todos.
If you do not do this, whichever board member does not approve this tonight, we will know who you are and
Si
what
no
you
lo
stand for.
hacen, si no lo hacen y el fiduciario que no apruebe esta propuesta, sabremos quiénes son ustedes.
And I wanted to also say that I do appreciate that some teachers in the district,
Quería también decir que agradezco que algunos maestros en el distrito
I have been told, are creating safe spaces for their students. And I don't know if that's something that came from here, but I'm assuming.
pero no sé, pero se me ha contado que han estado creando ciertos espacios seguros. Ahora no sé si esta orden vino desde acá.
But I do believe that that's the direction the district has to take. It's not a matter of perception.
Pero sí creo que ese es el rumbo que el distrito tiene que tomar. Y no es cuestión de percepción,
It is a matter of changing the culture.
es cuestión de cambiar la cultura.
And I think that even though Dr. White or whoever is going to be interim will not be here long term,
Y sí creo que sea la doctora White o quien quiera que tome este interinato, no estará aquí a largo plazo.
the ridiculous notion that the school year ends in 3 months and therefore we stop needing a superintendent is not right.
Esa idea ridícula de que el año escolar termina en 3 meses y por lo tanto no necesitamos a un superintendente no tiene razón.
Because you will still have to search for a superintendent. It's going to take at least 6 months, maybe longer, and you need some stability there the entire time.
Porque de igual manera tendrá que buscar a un superintendente y eso tardará como alrededor de 6 meses y se requiere de tiempo.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Next, we have Ophelia Fitzpatrick.
Señora Celia, ¿quiere probar para ver si funciona? ¿Dónde está? Does she have device?
The microphone went out?
They want a device. Madam President, I'm trying to get the devices to see if whatever was not
Okay,
working is working.
well, let's go ahead and
So that-
continue with the
okay.
present. Yeah, because we'll be going in. Go ahead.
Tú vas a traducir, ¿eh? He's going to translate for me.
Yes,
He's going to be my other voice.
there you go.
Good evening, everyone.
Buenas
Thank you,
tardes a
Board,
todos, mesa directiva.
Acting Superintendent Dr. De Souza,
Super-
Innovation Team,
Superintendente en funciones, el
And
doctor de
audience,
Sousa,
viewing
equipo administrativo y audiencia.
and the most important, I would say, our community.
Y más importancia, diría yo, nuestra comunidad.
Board, you have a very difficult decision.
Junta directiva, tienen ustedes una decisión muy difícil.
A lot of weight is upon you.
Mucho peso sobre sus hombros.
I think you've heard the division tonight.
Creo que se han dado cuenta de la división que hay esta noche.
And as I look around the room, I can see that many of us here
Y al recorrer con la vista la sala, me doy cuenta de que
have constructed not only our lives here as Rialtians,
hemos construido nuestra vida aquí no solamente como personas de Rialto,
but also as professional educators for many, many years.
sino que también como educadores por muchos, muchos años.
And we have collaborated,
Y hemos colaborado,
and we have built,
y hemos construido,
and we have redesigned and rebuilt.
y hemos rediseñado y hemos reconstruido.
We have been through difficult times.
Hemos pasado épocas muy difíciles.
And in those difficult times,
Y en
we
esas épocas
have
difíciles
come together.
nos hemos unido.
These faces have not changed,
Estos espacios no han cambiado
and our mission has not changed.
y nuestra misión no ha cambiado.
If anything that we are as community of Rialto Unified and educators within Rialto,
Si hay algo que seamos como comunidad de Rialto y como educadores de Rialto,
we are focused on our students.
es que somos personas enfocadas en nuestros estudiantes.
I have been in many committee meetings
Yo he estado en muchas reuniones comunitarias
at all levels
en todos los niveles,
and many different places.
en muchos diferentes sitios.
Many times being reminded, stay in your lane,
En muchas ocasiones se me ha recordado que me dedique a lo mío
and the community is my lane.
y La comunidad es lo mío.
And I can tell you, looking around this room, and this is just a small portion of us,
Y les puedo decir que viendo alrededor de esta sala, y somos muy pocos los que estamos aquí,
we are student-centered.
estamos enfocados en los estudiantes.
Absolutely.
Por supuesto que sí.
And I can see in my board members,
Y puedo ver en los miembros fiduciarios
I've had the honor to have your children in my classrooms,
que he tenido el honor de tener a sus chicos en mi aula,
in many community events, and
en muchos eventos de la comunidad
also the innovation team
y
as
también
well.
al equipo de innovación.
Some have been my students.
Algunos han sido mis estudiantes.
We are truly a community based on our students.
En realidad somos una comunidad basada en nuestros
When
estudiantes.
I hear outsiders come in and speak who
Cuando,
we
ven-
are,
cuando vengo a gente de afuera a decirnos quiénes somos,
I am shocked
me quedo impactada.
because I've rarely seen them in any community gathering or
Po-
meeting.
Porque muy rara vez les he visto en cualquier reunión o congregación de la comunidad.
It's very easy to speak from the outside
Porque es fácil hablar desde afuera
and throw stones into glass windows,
y tirar piedras a ventanales de cristal,
but not really hear the heart or the words and the passion for the students within those rooms.
sin escuchar el corazón y la pasión y la dedicación de los estudiantes dentro de esa aula.
I can say that in the difficult times that we have faced,
Puedo decir que en las épocas difíciles que hemos encarado,
I would go back to 11 years ago,
me remontaré a hace 11 años,
most recently,
más recientemente,
and we can say we had a difficult time and a turnover.
y decir que tuvimos un tiempo muy difícil y una fuga e ingreso.
And that created a stability of 10 years of construction
Que creó una estabilidad de 10 años de construcción,
that at times were contentious, but it was construction and moving forward.
que en tiempos somos adversariales, pero continuamos avanzando y construyendo.
And in those 10 years, as I look around the room, many of us advanced as educators.
Y en esos 10 años que hemos estado aquí, como veo esta sala, muchos de nosotros hemos avanzado como educadores,
As parents in the community,
como padres de la comunidad,
community members,
miembros de la comunidad,
activists.
activistas.
Some of those children became the teachers, the educators, and the activists.
Algunos de esos chicos se han convertido en los educadores, en los activistas.
And I'm proud to stand among them as my colleagues now.
Y me siento orgullosa de estar parada entre ellos, como dijo mi colega,
And my bosses as well.
y con mis patrones también,
Those were my students,
Esos
my
eran mis
community members, my
estudiantes.
neighbors, my friends.
mis miembros de la comunidad, mis vecinos, mis amigos.
And as we move forward
Y conforme avanzamos
and we're closing out this school year,
y cerramos este año escolar,
many of the wonderful things will happen
muchas otras cosas maravillosas ocurrirán,
that we need to be student-centered for.
para las cuales debemos seguir enfocados en los estudiantes.
Graduations,
Las graduaciones.
honors, honores,
Honores. Honors, is that what you say?
honors.
Honores.
Our struggling students who need that extra focus and help.
Y nuestros estudiantes con dificultades que necesitan esa dedicación extra y esa ayuda extra.
Those programs that we need to assess and reassess and evaluate.
Esos programas que hemos de evaluar, de volver a revisar,
So there is the consistency and the stability that we require.
para que allí esté la consistencia y la estabilidad que requerimos.
We cannot go into emotional stability, instability.
No podemos entrar en una inestabilidad emocional,
Because when we say we want change,
porque cuando decimos que queremos cambio,
the change I'm hearing in the room
el cambio que yo escucho que se pide en esta sala
is to eliminate our community.
es el de eliminar a nuestra comunidad.
That is impossible to do.
Y eso es imposible lograr.
We have a heart here.
Tenemos aquí un corazón.
This is our home.
Gracias. Este es
Thank
nuestro
you
hogar.
so
Muchas
much.
gracias. Thank you.
Next, we have Tobin Brinker.
Good evening, board members, Acting Superintendent D'Souza, Board President Dr. Lewis. 1 month ago, this board attempted to make a decision on district leadership without fully engaging the community. Many of us stood here and urged you to take your time, to listen to stakeholders, and to ensure that any decision made was in the best interest of our students and our schools. That night you listened and you did not make a decision. And yet here we are again, another hastily called special meeting, one agenda item, little transparency, and no real engagement with the people this decision will affect the most. Leadership should not be decided in a rush. It should be decided with wisdom, unity, and integrity. The Bible warns us about division in leadership. In Mark 3:25, it says, "If a house is divided against itself, that house cannot stand." A split decision tonight, a 3-2 vote, weakens not just the next superintendent, but the entire district. It tells us that the board itself is not unified and that instability will follow. If Dr. D'Souza is to continue, he deserves the chance to truly lead without the shadow of politics. Dr. D'Souza was appointed last year in a time of crisis because he was seen as fair, intelligent, and neutral, someone who could steady the ship. He has not had the opportunity to fully show what he can do because of the circumstances of his appointment. Why remove him now without a full, fair search process? We have 59 school days left until the end of the year. That's just 12 weeks of school. This time should be used to decide how the process will work, to engage with the community and employee groups to determine what qualities the next leader should have, to create a timetable for recruitment and interviews so that the new superintendent can be in place, hopefully to start the next school year. Rushing this decision and excluding the voices of teachers, staff, and families sets a dangerous precedent. It tells us that the board does not value transparency or stakeholder input. The next superintendent, whoever they are, should not begin their tenure under a cloud of division. I urge you to pause and do this the right way. Engage with the community. If district candidates throw their hat in the ring for the permanent job, then great. Let them compete openly with outside candidates as well. You need to conduct a real search. If you are to choose new leadership tonight, it will look like this was more about the internal politics of the school board than it is about what is best for our district, because you will have made the decision in a hastily called special meeting, without getting input from any community groups. And if that decision is a 3-2 vote, it will continue to divide the district. One final thought is that instability and split votes by the school board will make it harder to attract high-quality superintendent candidates. Successful superintendents rely on steady board leadership that can resolve issues and work together in the best interest of the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Jasmine Valenzuela.
Good evening to our board president and our board members and our community. My name is Jasmine Valenzuela, and I was an employee of the Rialto School District for over 25 years, starting as a teacher and working my way as an assistant principal, and assistant superintendent of education services, and also as lead academic agent. Tonight, I have been in touch with parents, and I have been in touch with teachers and different staff members. And tonight, when I heard of the decision the board will be making, I felt compelled to come and speak on behalf of Dr. D'Souza. I have enjoyed working with Dr. D'Souza for over 25 years, and I worked closely with him in the last 10 years before I retired in 2019. Very closely. He was the assistant superintendent of secondary schools, and I was the assistant superintendent of elementary schools. And I have kept in touch with many people, and I know that Dr. D'Souza was appointed at a dire time for the district. And so, like Toby mentioned earlier, he has not been given the opportunity fully to exercise his leadership as a superintendent for the Rialto Unified School District. As I said, I have worked with him closely, and I enjoy the opportunity to speak today to support him as the continued interim superintendent of the district. When the board appointed Dr. D'Souza as the interim superintendent, my heart was delighted because it was a clear and well-considered choice, and now I am here to say that it would be just as wise for the board to keep him in the role of interim superintendent or even superintendent. Dr. D'Souza is a leader with integrity and strong connections, and to know more about his background and to know what he has done for many years for this district. He is not only a man of integrity, but also a leader with deep connections at the county level and state levels. These relationships provide invaluable opportunities for the district, ensuring that the district remains at the forefront of educational advancements. funding opportunities, and policy decisions that benefit Rialto students. He has a proven dedication to our schools, having had the privilege of working closely with Dr. D'Souza for 20-plus years. I can personally attest to his unwavering commitment to students, teachers, and staff. He has always been willing and able to assist, support, collaborate for the greater good of our schools and the Rialto community. His leadership has never been about personal gain. He has always been about what is best for our students and educators. He is an accomplished and respected educator.
Thank you so much.
Am I done?
Yes.
That's 3 minutes?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No interpretation for me then, huh? Well, I hope you take my recommendation seriously,
Thank
that
you.
Dr. D'Souza is best fitted for the
Thank you.
position. Thank you.
Next, we have Ludlow Creary.
Good evening. Before I speak, I'd like to confer with Dr. D'Souza briefly before I speak.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
Oh, go ahead.
We're going to go ahead and continue, or,
I can take
We
the
can
speaker
go-
cards if you'd like. I can take the speaker cards as clerk.
That's it.
no, that's,
That's the last one.
Oh, he's the last one?
we're just going to continue. We're going to go ahead and speak, or are you going to not?
He's not going to speak.
Okay. Thank you. Is that the end of our?
That's it. Thank you.
Okay.
Could you at least introduce yourself, sir?
He was already introduced. What his name was
You
ready.
said your name was
Yes, my name is Ludlow Creary. I'm counsel for Dr. D'Souza.
Ludlow Curry. How do I spell that?
Okay.
Would you like me to spell it?
Yeah.
C as in cat, R-E-A-R-Y.
Okay, so we're going to continue with, so we're going to make a motion to move into closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, time is 6:48. Okay, thank you and welcome back. Do we have a motion to adjourn out of closed session?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Vote by board member?
Aye.
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 Okay, time is 7:27. Okay, open session, reconvene, report out of closed session. Is there a motion to open session?
I'll make a motion to reopen open session.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Vote by board members, all in favor
Aye.
say aye.
Aye.
Okay, report out of closed session. By the following vote, the governing board appointed Dr. Judy D. White as interim superintendent effective March 5th, 2025. The vote for A's, yes, is Dr. Lewis, Vice President Martinez, Board Member Williams. The no's is Board Clerk Montez and Board Member Dominguez. The board will bring forward a contract for approval at its next regular meeting on March 5th, 2025. Okay,
Motion to adjourn?
okay. Is there a second?
Second. Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
And time is 7:29.